There's a quiet change that happens in the body over time, one that many people don't notice at first. It begins subtly, almost unrecognizable, until one day you feel it clearly. The heaviness in your legs, the stiffness when you try to move, the sense that your body isn't flowing the way it once did. This isn't just about age, it's about circulation. As the years pass, blood doesn't move as efficiently through the body, especially to the lower areas like the legs and feet. Gravity works against you, and the natural elasticity of blood vessels begins to decline, making it harder for blood to travel freely. That's why so many older adults experience swelling, tingling, or that constant tired feeling in their legs. But here's what often goes unnoticed. This process is not fixed, and it's not beyond influence. The body still responds to care, to movement, and to the choices made each day. Even though circulation slows with age, it doesn't mean it has to stay that way. Small, consistent habits can gently encourage the body to restore a better flow. When you move, even in simple ways, you activate the muscles in your legs, and those muscles act like a natural pump, helping blood travel back toward the heart. Without movement, blood tends to pool, creating that heavy, sluggish sensation that many people accept as normal. The truth is, what feels normal isn't always what's necessary. The body adapts to stillness just as it adapts to motion. When days become more sedentary, circulation gradually declines, reinforcing the discomfort. But when small movements are introduced regularly, the body begins to shift again. Even something as simple as standing up more often, stretching your legs, or taking a short walk can begin to wake up that natural flow. It doesn't require intensity or long hours of effort. What matters is consistency, the gentle reminder to the body that it is meant to move. At the same time, daily choices outside of movement also play a role. The foods you eat, the fluids you drink, and even how you rest can influence how well your blood circulates. The body is always responding, always adjusting. It's never completely stuck, even if it feels that way. What's important is recognizing that change doesn't come from one big action, but from small, repeated ones that slowly build momentum. When you begin to understand this, something shifts in how you see your own body. Instead of viewing aging as a steady decline, you start to see it as a phase that still holds possibility. The heaviness in your legs is not just a sign of time passing, it's a signal from your body asking for support, for movement, for care. And when you respond to that signal, even in the smallest ways, your body begins to respond back in ways you can feel, even if those changes start quietly and gradually over time. There's a reason certain traditional diets have long been associated with vitality and longevity. And one of the simplest elements at the center of that lifestyle is something many people already have in their kitchen. Healthy oils, especially olive oil, have been quietly supporting the human body for generations, not through hype or complexity, but through consistency and balance. As the body ages, the condition of blood vessels becomes more important than ever. They can lose flexibility, becoming narrower or less responsive, which makes it harder for blood to flow smoothly. This is where the right kind of fats can begin to make a difference. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind of fats that help maintain the softness and elasticity of blood vessels. Instead of contributing to stiffness, they support a smoother internal environment where blood can move more freely. Over time, this can influence how efficiently oxygen and nutrients reach different parts of the body, especially the legs, where circulation often slows first. It's not about a quick fix or an instant result, but rather a gradual shift that happens when the body is consistently given what it needs. What makes this even more powerful is how easy it is to include in daily life. There's no complicated routine or strict schedule. It can be as simple as adding a spoonful of olive oil to a meal, drizzling it over vegetables, or mixing it into foods you already enjoy. The key is regularity, not quantity. When something becomes part of your everyday habit, it starts to work quietly in the background, supporting your body without demanding extra effort. There's also a deeper layer to this that many people overlook. The body doesn't just react to what you remove, it responds to what you add. Instead of focusing only on avoiding unhealthy choices, introducing nourishing elements like healthy oils creates a positive shift. It gives the body resources to repair, to maintain, and to function more efficiently. Blood vessels, like any part of the body, need support to stay strong and flexible, and the right nutrients help provide that foundation. At the same time, it's important to understand that not all oils work the same way. Highly processed or refined oils can lose much of their natural benefit, which is why choosing high-quality, minimally processed options matters. Extra virgin olive oil, for example, retains more of its natural compounds, including antioxidants that support overall cardiovascular health. These compounds help reduce internal stress within the body, creating a better environment for circulation to improve. As this habit becomes part of your routine, you may not notice a dramatic change overnight, but over time, the body begins to respond in subtle ways. Movement may feel a little easier. The sense of heaviness may begin to ease, and energy can slowly return in ways that feel natural rather than forced. It's not about transforming everything at once, but about giving your body a steady source of support that it can rely on day after day. There's a common belief that exercise has to be intense to be effective, that it requires long sessions, heavy effort, and a level of energy that many people feel they no longer have. But the truth is much simpler and far more encouraging. The body doesn't demand intensity as much as it responds to consistency, especially when it comes to circulation and energy. Gentle, regular movement can be one of the most powerful ways to bring life back into the legs, even if it starts with the smallest steps. When you move your legs, something remarkable happens beneath the surface. The muscles begin to contract and relax, and this action works like a natural pump, pushing blood through the veins and helping it travel back toward the heart. Without this movement, blood can begin to settle, especially in the lower parts of the body, creating that heavy, sluggish feeling that many people experience. Over time, this lack of motion reinforces itself, making the legs feel weaker and less responsive. But the moment you begin to move again, even gently, you interrupt that cycle and give your body a chance to restore its natural rhythm. It doesn't have to be a structured routine or anything complicated. A short walk each day, even for a few minutes, can begin to make a difference. Walking engages multiple muscles at once, encouraging steady blood flow and gradually improving endurance. If walking feels difficult at first, even simple seated movements can help. Lifting your legs slightly, rotating your ankles, or gently stretching can activate circulation in ways that are both safe and effective. The key is not how much you do in one moment, but how often you remind your body to keep moving. As these small movements become part of your daily life, they begin to build on each other. What once felt tiring can start to feel easier. The stiffness that used to greet you in the morning may begin to fade, replaced by a sense of lightness that grows over time. Energy doesn't suddenly appear out of nowhere, it's created through action. Each step, each movement signals to your body that it's still needed, still active, still capable. There's also a mental shift that happens alongside the physical one. When you choose to move, even when it feels easier not to, you begin to rebuild confidence in your body. You start to trust that it can respond, that it hasn't lost its ability to improve. This confidence often leads to more movement, creating a positive cycle that strengthens both the body and the mind. What makes this approach so powerful is its simplicity. There's no pressure to perform, no expectation to push beyond your limits. It's about meeting your body where it is and gently guiding it forward. Over time, these small, consistent actions can lead to noticeable changes in how your legs feel, how your blood flows, and how much energy you carry throughout your day. It's a quiet transformation, one that doesn't demand attention, but reveals itself through the ease of movement and the return of vitality that once felt out of reach. It's easy to underestimate how much of a role simple daily nourishment plays in the way your body feels, especially when it comes to circulation and energy. Many people focus on movement or specific remedies, but what flows through your veins every moment of the day is directly shaped by what you drink and what you eat. Blood is not just a static substance, it's a living system, constantly carrying oxygen, nutrients, and signals throughout your body. And for it to move smoothly, it needs the right balance of hydration and nourishment. Water, for example, seems almost too simple to matter, yet it is one of the most powerful supports for circulation. When the body is well hydrated, blood maintains a thinner, more fluid consistency, allowing it to travel more easily through vessels. But when hydration is low, blood can become thicker, slowing down its movement and making it harder for oxygen to reach your muscles, especially in the legs where circulation is already working against gravity. This is often when people begin to feel fatigue, heaviness, or even mild dizziness without fully realizing that something as basic as water intake could be part of the reason. As the body ages, the sense of thirst may become less noticeable, which makes it even more important to be intentional about drinking fluids regularly. Small sips throughout the day can be more effective than waiting until you feel thirsty. It's not about forcing large amounts at once, but about maintaining a steady flow that supports your body's natural processes. Over time, this simple habit can help your circulation feel smoother, your energy more stable, and your body more responsive. Alongside hydration, the quality of food you eat plays a critical role in how well your blood vessels function. Nutrient-rich foods provide the building blocks your body needs to maintain strong, flexible vessels and efficient blood flow. Leafy greens, for example, contain compounds that support vascular health, while berries offer antioxidants that help protect your blood vessels from damage over time. Nuts and seeds provide healthy fats and minerals that contribute to overall circulation, and fatty fish supply essential nutrients that help reduce internal strain within the body. What's important to understand is that these foods don't work in isolation. They create a supportive environment within your body, one that allows all systems to function more effectively. When your body receives consistent nourishment, it doesn't have to struggle to maintain balance. Instead, it begins to operate more smoothly, and that smoothness is often felt as increased energy, reduced discomfort, and a greater sense of ease in movement. There's also a subtle but meaningful shift that happens when you begin to prioritize nourishment. Instead of thinking in terms of restriction or limitation, you start to focus on giving your body what it truly needs. This change in perspective can make healthy choices feel less like an obligation and more like an act of care. And when care becomes part of your routine, your body responds in ways that gradually become more noticeable, supporting better circulation and a more energized, balanced state that continues to build over time. There's something deeply powerful about the way you think about your body, especially as the years go by. Long before any physical change becomes visible, a belief quietly settles in the mind. It sounds like acceptance, but often it's limitation in disguise. The idea that slowing down is unavoidable, that feeling weak is just part of the process, that energy and vitality belong to the past. These thoughts don't just stay in the mind, they begin to shape actions, and those actions slowly shape reality. When you start to believe that decline is inevitable, you naturally begin to do less. You move less, you try less, you expect less from your body, and over time the body responds exactly to those expectations. Muscles weaken, circulation slows, and energy fades, not only because of age, but because the signals being sent to the body are telling it that it no longer needs to stay strong or active. It's a quiet cycle, one that reinforces itself without drawing much attention. But the opposite is also true, and this is where real change begins. When you shift your mindset even slightly, you begin to open a different path. Instead of seeing age as a barrier, you start to see it as a stage where care matters more, where small efforts create meaningful results. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that the body is the same as it was decades ago. It means recognizing that improvement is still possible, that progress doesn't stop just because time has passed. A positive mindset is not about forced optimism or empty motivation. It's about choosing a perspective that supports action. When you believe that your body can still respond, you're more likely to move, to eat better, to stay consistent with small habits that gradually build strength and energy. Each of these actions then reinforces the belief, creating a cycle that works in your favor rather than against you. There's also an emotional layer to this that often goes unnoticed. When you feel capable, even in small ways, it changes how you carry yourself through the day. You feel more willing to engage, more open to activity, more connected to the idea that your well-being is still within your influence. This sense of control, even if it starts small, can be incredibly motivating. It shifts the focus away from what's been lost and toward what can still be gained. Over time, this mindset begins to shape not just your habits, but your experience of daily life. Movements feel more intentional, choices feel more meaningful, and the body begins to respond in ways that reflect that care. Energy may return gradually, discomfort may lessen, and the feeling of being stuck begins to fade. It's not about chasing youth, but about reclaiming a sense of vitality that is still available in the present moment. What makes this so powerful is that it doesn't require anything external to begin. It starts with a decision, a quiet shift in how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. And from that point forward, Every small action becomes part of a larger change, one that continues to grow stronger as you choose to believe that your body is still capable of more than you once thought.